Setup guide for the Stocks Jackal control box. The Stocks Jackal is available across a wide range of the Stocks applicators, and we're going to go through the basic settings and the control box. The bottom left is the on-off button, the bottom right is the run hold button. The ones across the top are what we call the select buttons, and they select the icon above it. The page button is the one with the 3 pages on, and then the navigation keys are the keypad in the middle, which we use to select and change the inputs. On the screen we start off with the application rate at the top. The forward speed is displayed in the middle. The LVL stands for hopper level sensor, and that is an optional extra. Below that we have the fan speed percentage, which is the battery voltage supply, and then we have an area meter below that, and that's scrolled through using the up and down buttons. For the first setup, we go through to the setup page over the select button, select setup, and to set up suitable to the particular implement we select other settings, and then we're going to scroll down and set the implement width. For this instance we will choose 6 meters. So if it was at the point we could move it left and right, so we're going to go up to 6. If it was 6.5, you can do it that way, or back down again. Once we've selected the width, we click exit, and then we scroll down a bit further to where we have extern run hold normally off. That is the cutout switch source, which is either 7-pin plug reading from the linkage, or it can be the finger switch purchasable as an optional extra. And then at the bottom of the other settings we have simulated speed, where we can turn the simulated speed on, yes or no. That can be used for doing static tests, or it can be used where a speed signal isn't available. Also in the setups we can go to the front screen, and here we're going to adjust the settings for the metering. So you go up to seed, click edit, and on here decimal places 2 is sufficient. The step size, that's the size of when we go up and down to increase the rate, how big a jumps do we want it to do. So a typical setting would be 1, but if we wanted to set it to 500 grams we could do that. So anything left of the decimal place is kilos, everything to the right is in grams. So that is half a kilo step size. Below that we have rate A and rate B. These are quick rates stored on the front screen, where you can select your most commonly used application rates. So for this we are going to change 20 kilos to 10, and then we could change this one to 20, but these can be set to anything, they can be adjusted at any time. Now we can do the calibration. So we're selecting an input, and then kilos because it's the metering unit that we're selecting. So on here we go to target to start off with. For the first calibration, or when you're changing from 2 different product types, grass seed to oilseed rape, we don't enter a target rate. All we do is we drop the hatch or open the door, put the calibration tray or bucket underneath, and then we press start. And all we're looking for is enough product to weigh. This doesn't need to be anything, no more than a kilo. 200 grams, 500 grams is fine. Once we get to a suitable amount in the calibration tray to weigh, we'll go up to 7,000. When we get somewhere close, we just press stop. Then the target's now changed to actual. So we put it in our scales, ideally weighing to 3 decimal places, and we weigh it, so we click edit, and we're going to say that this weighed 550 grams. Then we press calculate, and you'll see this manual ratio change. So the manual ratio relates to the number of pulses per kilo of product. Now we have that done, we can fine tune it by entering a target weight. So we take the target, click edit, and we're going to enter 500 grams. So because this is the number of pulses per kilo, at 500 grams we should be roughly half of 13,000. This time we press and hold the start button and we keep our finger on it, and it will stop automatically at somewhere around about 6,500. There we go. So again, now we're fine tuning it. That's now changed to actual. So we're going to you'd weigh the product, and we'll say, for argument's sake, this is weighed 522 grams. Click exit, press calculate again. Now that'll be accurately calibrated. This manual ratio now, the number of pulses per kilo, you can record that against the type of product. So if you want to swap back again, you can scroll down, manually input that manual ratio to suit that number to go with that particular product. And that will be the machine calibrated. To start the machine, if you're in the field, we're going to have to input, in this instance, we're going to have to put a simulated speed on to make the machine believe it's moving, because the metering roller will not move unless the machine is moving or a simulated speed is turned on. So here we have a simulated speed. Now when we scroll through on the page button, we now have a speed. So on here we can enter a speed of 10k. We turn the fan on, which this would be the disc if it was a disc machine. We can select an application rate of 10 kilos, and then we press the start button, and this would also be the same as the finger switch if you were using the finger switch, and then the machine will be applying product.